The lunch rush at McDonald's was loud and crowded, but for Emma, it felt even louder inside her heart. She was the new girl in town, freshly moved to this small city after her mom got a new job. She hadn't made any friends yet, and the weight of loneliness followed her everywhere. With her tray in hand, she quietly found a corner seat, hoping no one would notice her. But she was wrong. Across the room, 5 boys from her new high school spotted her. They were the type everyone knew, loud, cocky, and always looking for someone to tease. To them, Emma looked like an easy target, shy, quiet, and alone. They whispered to each other, then grinned as if a game had just begun. Emma tried to focus on her burger, but soon the shadows of the boys loomed over her table. One of them kicked her chair slightly, making her jolt. Another laughed and said, "New girl thinks she can eat all alone like she owns the place." The group laughed, louder this time, drawing attention from other customers. Emma's face burned red as tears threatened to spill, but she held them back, refusing to give them the satisfaction. They started taking fries from her tray, tossing napkins at her, mocking her clothes. When Emma stood up to leave, one boy blocked her path. "Where you going?" "We're just having fun," he sneered. To Emma, it wasn't fun, it was humiliating. She froze, wishing she could disappear. That's when it happened. A voice rang out from the counter, "Leave her alone." Heads turned. It wasn't a teacher, not a parent, it was Mia, one of the most popular girls in school. She had just walked in with her friends and had seen everything. The boys laughed at her too, but Mia didn't back down. "Seriously? 5 of you against one girl? That's pathetic." The whole restaurant went silent. Suddenly, other students started whispering, pulling out their phones, recording the scene. The boys, caught off guard, tried to shrug it off, but the damage was done. Everyone was watching. Emma's hands trembled, but for the first time since moving, she felt like she wasn't invisible. Mia walked over, put an arm around her, and guided her out. "Don't worry," she whispered. "You're not alone anymore." The next day at school, the story had already spread like wildfire. Videos of the confrontation at McDonald's were everywhere, shared on Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok. People couldn't believe how 5 boys had tried to gang up on a single girl, and even more, they couldn't believe how brave Mia had been to step in. Suddenly, Emma wasn't the new girl anymore. She was the girl everyone wanted to know, the girl people were rooting for. But the challenges weren't over. The boys weren't used to being called out, and their pride was bruised. They tried to play it cool, laughing off the incident, but teachers had seen the videos too. They were called into the principal's office, and for once, their actions had real consequences. Suspension, community service, and mandatory anti-bullying workshops. Emma's heart raced as she stepped into McDonald's that Friday afternoon. It wasn't just about grabbing lunch, this was her first time eating out since moving to the new town. She clutched her tray tightly, scanning the room full of students from her new school. Everyone seemed to know each other, laughing, trading stories, while she stood like an outsider. She found a seat in the corner, trying to disappear into the noise. But in every school, there are those who hunt for weakness. 5 boys spotted her from across the room. They were well-known troublemakers, star athletes, charming when they wanted to be, but cruel when they thought no one would stop them. To them, Emma looked like an easy target, alone, nervous, unfamiliar. They nudged each other, smirking, as if daring one another to go first. The tallest boy led the way. He strolled to Emma's table, grabbed one of her fries, and popped it in his mouth. "Thanks for lunch, new girl," he sneered. The others laughed, circling her like vultures. One knocked her drink, spilling soda across the table. Another mocked her plain clothes, comparing them to charity shop rejects. Each insult landed like a punch, each laugh a reminder that she didn't belong. Emma's throat tightened. She wanted to run, but her legs wouldn't move. She wanted to speak, but the words were locked behind fear. Her mom's advice echoed in her head, "Be strong, Emma. People only have power over you if you let them." But how could she be strong when 5 boys towered over her, tearing her apart in front of a room full of strangers? A napkin slapped her cheek. "Why so quiet?" one boy taunted. "Too good to talk to us." Their laughter grew louder, drawing the attention of customers. Phones were already out, people recording, but no one stepping in. Emma's eyes welled with tears. She tried to rise from her chair, but another boy shoved her back down. And then, silence. A voice cut through the chaos. Firm. Angry. Unshaken. Enough. It was Mia. Captain of the cheer team, student council leader, one of the most respected girls in school. She had just walked in with her friends, but what she saw lit a fire inside her. She marched straight toward the table, her eyes locked on the boys. 5 against 1. That's not funny. That's disgusting. The boys froze, their smirks faltering. Relax, Mia, one said, trying to laugh it off. We were just. Just what? Mia snapped. Bullying a girl who hasn't even been here a week. Do you know how pathetic you look? Her voice carried through the restaurant. Phones turned, recording her now. Customers whispered, impressed by her courage. Emma blinked in disbelief. For the first time since moving, someone was standing up for her. Mia extended her hand. Come on, Emma. Sit with us. The 5 boys stepped aside, their confidence crumbling as the room's energy shifted. Some customers clapped quietly. A manager approached, warning the boys to leave if they couldn't behave. They slinked back to tea.